welcome to DivaSpeaks Relationships Talk Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to be back with you here again. It feels so amazing. Welcome to the hottest relationship talk show out of Charlotte, North Carolina, aka the Queen City. I am the diva of DivaSpeaks Relationship Talk Show. My name is Angelo Puerto Real, and tonight, we are going to have some grown-up conversation. This is all about the ladies. Yes, thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking in, and dedicating a little bit of your time so you and I can connect and have the conversation. Thank you. Listen, now you know I got my cards with me so I don't lose focus or lose what I want to say, because there are certain takeaways that I want you to leave the show with tonight. I hope this blesses and encourages somebody, especially for the men out there. This is about the ladies, but you know what? It could benefit the men. For those of you who are in relationships and who want to continue to be in that particular relationship, maybe this will bless and benefit you. But listen, before I go any further, can you see this hat? Is this hat not the business? Look at this blue, honey. Compliments, okay, of my personal stylist and friend, Miss Ivory K. So I just want to give a shout out to her for her allowing me to, sport this hat tonight. Yes, it is from her collection. It is from her personal boutique. And I said, sis, I got this shirt that is so vibrant, right? And I don't have anything to go with the shirt other than the shoes. Wait a minute. Woo, you check out the shoes. Yes, honey, I got to show you what I'm working with. So anyway, she is a fashion consultant and image consultant. So I want to give a shout out to Miss Ivory K for blessing the diva with this badass hat. Yes, it is bad. So shout out to her. Yes, again, thank you for stopping by and checking out the show. I want to thank all of my supporters who have been rocking with me, who have been loyal, who have been talking about the diva and sharing the content. I am sending you love. I'm sending you positive energy. I'm sending you hugs and smiles and all of that goodness. Thank you for your support. You are definitely appreciated. Yes. So for those of you who have not had an opportunity, because maybe you've been too busy to check out my social media platforms, that is an important component of keeping up with the show, and the motivation and the encouragement and the inspiration, the food for thought, the funny moments, the ahas, I didn't quite think of it like that. All of that is shared with you over my social media platforms, so you can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is DivaSpeaks_official. Once again, you can connect with me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is DivaSpeaks_official. So make sure that you follow and like or whatever, comment, engage with me. Don't be shy. If you have an opposing opinion, I just ask that you be respectful, because we're all adults here, right? And I only engage with mature-minded adults. I like to keep it grown and sexy, a tad bit humorous at times, but definitely it has to be respect when you are expressing an opposing view. So once again, let me go back over that. Connect with me on Instagram, which is DivaSpeaks_official, as well as my TikTok audience is growing. Thank you. Yes, I'm so happy about that. You can follow me on TikTok. I actually have 2 different accounts because I got locked out of the other one. I changed phones and phone numbers. So my TikTok handle is DivaSpeaks Relationships and DivaSpeaks Relationship and the number 1. So either of those particular handles on TikTok, you can follow me. I definitely would encourage you to do so. The audience is growing. When I do allow the comments, I would definitely love to hear from you. So please make sure that you follow me on TikTok. My Facebook audience, my handle on Facebook is True Diva Speaks. That is facebook.com, the / True Diva Speaks, and from there you can like and follow, as well as join my Facebook group, which is Real Women Candid Conversations. Now, men, don't be shy. Don't let the name discourage you. You're more than welcome to join the group. The group is about, basically basically sharing some of the longer videos that make you think, giving you inspiration, talking about relationships. I stay true to the brand and the business of relationships. It is all about relationships. I'm talking about matters of the heart. Now, sometimes I may venture off into talking about how other relationships that we have in our lives will impact our marriages and our long-term relationships and all of that. But the sole source of this particular platform is all about romantic relationships, marriages, and things like that, just to make you aware of that. So this is still new to me, so I'm going to share it with you. DivaSpeaks Relationships is now also a ministry, and I'm so excited about that, because there is a part of me that, I don't like to as much as I feel obligated to, and it just comes naturally, flows naturally from my belief system. I talk about relationships, but I include the Word of God. I talk about God a whole lot more. I talk about His purposes and His will for marriages and our relationships. So DivaSpeaks Relationship Ministries, you can find that content as well on YouTube, and I am on the Now Television Network. Let me go ahead and clap for myself. Sometimes you have to clap for yourself. Praise Him. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, the Now Television Network. You can find DivaSpeaks on there, DivaSpeaks Relationships Ministry. Make sure you download the app or visit my website on the Now Network. It is thenownetwork.org/Angela Puerto Real. Okay, thenownetwork.org, / Angela Puerto Real. So make sure that you follow the ministry if you need something more spiritually based and guided. If you need something to whet your spiritual appetite, you definitely want to go ahead and find me on the Now Television Network. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. I'm just so excited. That's all. I'm so excited. I feel so tremendously blessed. Have you ever felt so blessed and so full, and you've been busy, but not in a bad way? It's just that you have so much to do, and God has lit a fire under that bottom of yours, and you just, oh my goodness, you just can't get all of it out at once. I feel like that tonight. I'm just so blessed and so excited about all of the good things that are happening, all of the challenges that are being conquered, all of the new fans, all of the new supporters. I'm so thankful for you. Yes, I want to applaud you. Thank you so much, because you are a huge part of the success of the show, the brand, which is DivaSpeaks Relationships. Now, before I end this particular segment of it, because this is not an infomercial, make sure that you check out my podcast. Remember, that is where it all started. DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast from. The newest episode, which is, guess what? That's the reason we're on here tonight. We're going to talk about it. The podcast edition of Why Are You Denying Me?, which is the topic for tonight. It was released or whatever, but the podcast is the conversation that goes on in the meantime, in between time, until you and I can sit here in my home and have an intimate conversation about relationships, right? Yes, make sure that you do that. I'm going to get it together at some point. Finally, please visit my website. My website is a one-stop shop for everything I just said. Everything I just told you, everything I just said is on my website. So make sure that you visit my website. I do believe it is at the beginning and at the end of the show. If you watch, it'll say diva-speaks-official.com. It directs you to all of my social media pages. It gives you a glimpse of some of my previous appearances on different shows. It allows you to view my older shows, and it keeps you connected. You have the ability to email me should you have some concerns, or you want to extend an invitation to me to your platform, or for a speaking engagement. Please do reach out. My website has all of that information, everything I've just talked about. So yay, we got through that part. Yes. Again, welcome to DivaSpeaks Relationships Talk Show. I want to welcome you to my home. Yes, I got it all cleaned up and lit up a little bit for you, because I knew that you were going to be stopping by. So you know how Mama taught us, when we got company coming by, we got to brush it up a little bit. Wait a minute, I got to scoop my plant over. My plant wants to be a part of this too. Yes. Okay. So tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about, the topic is, why are you denying me? And I wasn't initially going to be talking about this tonight on Access 21, okay? However, when I re-released the episode on the podcast, and when I re-released the episode, I provided snippets of it on my different social media platforms, and the response that I got back in my inbox from the men blew me away. I didn't know that some men were that sensitive. Oh my goodness, yes. So I decided to talk about it on Access 21. I decided that let's have the conversation where you can see me deliver the content and you can understand what this is about, because maybe just hearing my voice, it doesn't register for some. Again, tonight's topic is, why are you denying me? I want you to keep in mind that DivaSpeaks Relationships is across all platforms, the brand and the business. Me, when I'm talking, it is from a woman's perspective, okay? When I do speak on the men, when I do speak on a male's perspective, I'm just speaking what I've heard, or I am reiterating information that I've been told. But it's a different thing when a woman talks about a woman. So don't be so quick to get offended versus just listen, and if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, leave it where it is, okay? All right. So, oh yes, wait a minute, before I forget, I do not want to start the show. Listen, I need you guys to really stay tuned and connected, because this next coming month, I have some powerful sisters with powerful voices coming to the show. You guys may know her. She's a social media sensation and motivational speaker. I know her, and I affectionately call her She King. She goes by the name Street Poet. She's all over social media. When she delivers the word regarding accountability in relationships, I mean, she hits you where it resonates. She has the ability to make you feel what she say, and you know, you can relate to any and everything that she talks about. She King, Street Poet is coming to DivaSpeaks Relationships. We are going to be taping together within the next couple of weeks, and she is going to do a DivaSpeaks Relationships takeover. I want you guys to stay connected, because I'm about to take this show to a whole nother level. I have a whole team of sisters lined up waiting to speak on the show, because different divas have different ways of presenting the material. So I needed to get that out there to get you excited about who's coming next on DivaSpeaks Relationships. I am passing the baton to other qualified sisters who have voices, who can make an impact, and who can definitely connect with you when it comes to relationships. So forgive me for jumping ahead and starting the show without talking about the gifts that I will be presenting on DivaSpeaks Relationships, okay? Now, back to the show. So tonight we're going to be talking about, why are you denying me? I re-released that particular topic on my podcast as of yesterday. And as I was stating before, oh my, I was not ready for the response from the men. Now, to be quite fair, and no shade, but I'm not really used to the antics and the immaturity that comes from that particular platform. I'm used to dealing with the grown and sexy. I'm used to dealing with adults who know how to express themselves as adults. So when I got over there and I received some of these sideways inbox comments, I said, oh, this is worth talking about again. So here we are. Why are you denying me? So what could that possibly mean, Papa Sandy? But I want you to think about what that means to you. When we reach a point in a relationship, when we reach a level of lack in the relationship, where a woman feels the need to let you know that you are not meeting her needs, this is serious business. It's serious business. It's so easy for anybody, any one of us can talk about how to be happy in a relationship when times are good. It's easy to be joyful when everything is going right, when all of the places are in, all of the pieces are in place, everything is going to according as planned. You and the love of your life are connecting. You're checking all the boxes. I mean, everything is running so smoothly. It is so easy to exist in a relationship when everything is fine, when everything is just flowing as it should, when blessings are abundant, when it is effortless to please your partner, and everything is just wonderful, right? I have found myself having to be a source of encouragement when times are not so good, when it's not so easy to see eye to eye. Those are the times when we need prayer the most and when we need to connect the most. Is when we enter, and I like to call them here on the show, our seasons of struggle. When it's a struggle to communicate effectively with the person that you love and that you're going to bed with. When it's a struggle to be able to be in their presence when they are being difficult to be around. When it is a struggle to be intimate with the person that you have chosen to spend the rest of your life with, because either they're being anal, maybe they're being an asshole, maybe they're being difficult. Maybe you just have entered into a season that I call struggle. And it is so easy to fall into a trap. Here we go. Set by the enemy. And one small thing could end up being a mountain of things that could inevitably cause the relationship to crumble. So when we enter into these seasons of struggle, when things are not going so well, when it is sometimes a blessing just to be able to get out of the house and go to work for 8 hours because things are so tense at home. We're not seeing eye to eye. We're giving each other the silent treatment. The communication is not at the level that it needs to be for us to continue to have a healthy and happy relationship. When everything seems to be just a little bit harder to do with the person, again, that you've married, the person that you've chosen to spend your life with, the person that you're living with, the person that you are in a relationship with. We talk about what it is as a woman to be a man's counterpart. So many women have been taught and passed down information throughout the ages of what it means to be a woman and what it is to be a supportive woman to your husband, to your man, the things that we need to do to support these men, to love these men, to keep these men motivated, to love them. And you got to do this for your man. And this is what you need to do when your husband comes home from work. Give him a little bit of space. Let him, unwind a little bit. Make sure he has dinner cooked. Make sure that you have his bath water ran. Make sure that you give him a rub down. Make sure that you lay his clothes out. Make sure that he comes home and the house is clean and smelling good. Make sure that you keep yourself up. Make sure that you stay prayed up before God outside of his presence. Don't bring your man any silly business. Don't talk to your man like he's your girlfriend. Your man is your man. Your girlfriend is your girlfriend. We are so burdened down with all the responsibilities that we as women need to do to stay connected and plugged in and make sure that we are our husband's supplement energy source, okay? And to always be there for him so that his needs are met. And we are held accountable when we are not meeting our husband's needs, when we let our husbands leave home, and he has not been fed. The things that we have to do, I feel as a woman, is a lot. It's a lot to have a man. A lot of women say they want a man, but do you really? Do you understand what it means to have a whole man living with you in your bed, cooking and cleaning for him, raising his children, sharing bills with him, sharing dreams with him, sharing disappointments with him, fussing with him, cleaning up after him? That is a whole job. And a lot of you ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. So, circling back, when we enter those seasons, when things are not so well between us. And it doesn't mean that we're going to fall apart. It doesn't mean that the relationship is going to go to shit. It doesn't mean the relationship is going to go to hell, as far as I know, right? When you're in it, you don't necessarily go all the way to the end. You don't think the worst. But when we enter into those seasons, sometimes I think there are times that the men forget that no matter how upset you are at that woman still has a need to be touched. That woman still has a need and a craving for her body to be loved on, to be touched, and for you to plug into her. And I mean every bit of that, to plug into her and to stay connected. You see, no matter what is going on in the relationship that is causing you two not to see eye to eye, there always needs to be time set aside for you two to physically connect, for you to release the tension of the outside world and from the relationship on one another. That's what I like to call, to be more grown up about it, fellowshipping with one another. You cannot forget to fellowship with your woman even when things seem to be going to shit, especially if she is receptive to your touch and to your lovemaking in the midst of all hell breaking loose around the two of you. You see, because when you start neglecting your woman in terms of, now you're giving her the silent treatment, perhaps. Okay, now, you're not being as excited to talk to her or share with her what has gone on or went on with you throughout your day, when, that's been a pattern that you guys have had forever and a day. She's noticing things like that. She's noticing that you are a little bit more withdrawn when you come home. She's noticing that you spend a little bit more time outside of the home than you do with her. She's noticing all of that thing. So not only are you giving her the silent treatment, you're not paying her as much attention, you're not doing as many things with her, but if you compound that problem with lack of intimacy, what are you really communicating to your woman when you do that? What do you think you are communicating to your woman when you do that? It could say that you're losing interest in her and the relationship. It could say that you no longer desire her sex or her body. You don't find her physically attractive. It could say a lot of things. And it definitely can send negative messages to your woman. It could tear down her stuff. Well, not necessarily tear down. That is being a little bit dramatic, but it can definitely start nipping away at her self-esteem. There is not a woman alive who wants to be in a relationship with a man who does not find her sexually attractive. There is not a woman alive who wants to be in a relationship with a man who does not dote on her or tell her that she is beautiful from time to time. There is not a woman alive that you can continue to live with and be in a relationship with if you are not being affectionate with her, telling her that you love her, at some point expressing to her that you are appreciative of the things that she brings to the table in the relationship and the things that she does, not only for you, but for the household and the family. Are you neglecting your woman and denying her that physical aspect of the relationship that she needs? Do you understand that when you start denying a woman sex, when you start denying a woman intimacy, that you are creating more problems in the relationship that you may not be ready as a man to face or to deal with? Now, on top of the messages that I just said, that the signals that you may be sending out, I hate to say this because that is the last resort that I like to think about, but you could be saying to your woman that you're cheating, that now you are committing adultery or infidelity, because if you ain't getting it from her, you're getting it from somewhere. Where are you getting it from? If the two of you have been sexually active, if the two of you as a couple have had no issues in the bedroom, there are no problems communicating what you want when you're in there. When you're in there, it is fireworks, okay? It is everything that you needed to be in that moment. If you are no longer making love to your woman, if you are no longer grabbing your woman and touching her, physical touch, touching her and letting your touch express your desire, could it be that you are telling your woman you don't want her? And in the end, that you are disconnecting from the relationship. Is that what you want to communicate with your woman? Is that you want your woman to leave the house every day feeling neglected? Because a woman's cup needs to be filled as well. Just like our mothers, aunties, grandmamas, and the elderly women, the elders of the church have taught us that we don't need to let our men leave the house, in a certain way. I think the same needs to resonate for men. Do you want your woman walking out in these streets with a cup empty or half full because you aren't doing your job as a man? Because your pride is preventing you from loving your woman the way that you should. So in an effort to stand your ground, in an effort to be right, in an effort that you just want to stay mad, you would rather stay mad than please your woman. You have to ask yourself if this is what you are capable of doing, or if this has been what you have been doing. Do you really want that woman? Maybe that's a question for you. Do you really want that woman? Or perhaps this is just a wake-up call for you. Perhaps you have been working or putting in long hours. Perhaps life has taken you down so many different roads and you have so many responsibilities and obligations because you're a man's man that you don't want to fall short in any area, and you don't want to fail anyone in your family or your immediate circle, that your wife and your responsibility to your wife has somehow taken a back seat. And sometimes that happens because, as I stated earlier in the show, we're all adults here. We live adult lives. We have responsibilities, careers, obligations, things that we naturally enjoy as an individual versus, couple things. There are things that just happen. And sometimes, by mistake, your partner gets put on the back burner. And if that is so, I need you to have that wake up moment today. And I need you to stop it where it is, plug into your woman and fulfill her needs. Anytime a woman feels the need to express what she's lacking in the relationship, number one, I feel, it's my personal opinion, you got a good woman on your hands because you have someone that is mature enough to communicate what she needs. You have someone who not only is mature enough, but grown up enough to tell you what she needs. She's not scared to tell you. And you know what? There's a level of respect that woman not only has for the relationship, but she respects you. She respects you as the man and the head of the relationship and the home, to come to you and to express how she's feeling and what she needs from you. How are you going to turn her down? How are you going to turn a woman down that loves you just that much to say, baby, you're not loving on me enough. Baby, I don't even remember the last time that we did X, Y, or Z. When you really think about it, that is a woman worth cherishing. And that is something that you need to pay attention to, okay? Overlooking a woman's need could lead to other things. If a woman is finding herself having the conversation with you, I had to do that, having the conversation with you about what she's lacking, and this is a repeated conversation, sooner or later, frustration is going to set in with that woman. Sooner or later, if you're not making any steps to, towards progression and, leaning towards making it better or meeting her needs, she's going to become frustrated. And frustration only lasts for so long. So how long do you tend to leave your woman on frustrated mode? How long do you intend on neglecting her and putting everything and everyone else above her or in front of her and not making her or her priorities first in your life? Because her priorities should be your priorities. She should be a priority for you. If your woman has lost first place, what in God's name are you doing? Is it the beginning of the end, or have you failed to communicate with your woman what you're lacking? Are you avoiding a conversation thinking things will just get better or go away, and now it's festering into something bigger? That is a question that needs to be asked. You know, the consequences sometimes are not pretty when a woman is being continuously neglected. And you know, it falls outside of the bedroom as well. I mean, if communication is lacking, if you guys are not fellowshipping on a regular basis, if you're not doing things together, if you are finding yourself in petty arguments, or you're having arguments all the time, that sounds like the beginning of the demise of the relationship. It does. So what are you going to do to fix it? Is it worth it to you to fix it? And while you're fixing it, do you not see the need to continue the intimacy and not to make your woman feel as if you are denying her your body? Are you denying your wife access to your body? Are you giving her the cold shoulder, and then when she brings it up, are you one of those men that say, well, she know all she got to do is just reach over and take it? Like, okay, that's only going to work for so long. When are you going to wake up and start responding to what your woman needs from you? Because if you don't tend on fixing it, what is the end game? I personally feel that leaving either partner, whether that's the man or whether that is the woman, when you leave the needs unfulfilled and they're not being addressed in the relationship, that is the perfect setup for infidelity. You are allowing a entry point for the enemy to come in and introduce infidelity into your relationship. Because I don't know too many grown people that are going to just sit around in a relationship, and not have their needs fulfilled by the person that they've committed to in a relationship. That's just not what people do. I mean, that inevitably boils down to them just being with you and not being happy and not having their needs addressed. No one wants to have their cup on empty. No one wants to walk around feeling frustrated. No one wants to, not feel as if they are being loved, physical love in a relationship. So if you don't want infidelity to be an issue in your relationship, what are some things that you could do now that your woman, or if she's had that conversation with you, what are some things that you could do to make it right? Outside of tonight, making sure that you go to your woman and you start communicating that you heard her. Baby, I hear you. That's the first thing. Women want to be heard. And I'm not talking about that loud, yap, yap, bop, bop, or, when you guys are in a heated discussion. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about everyday communication in a relationship. No woman wants to feel like she's not heard or taken serious in her relationship. So the first step towards resolving the disconnect that is obvious, if this is your situation, is to step into your woman and letting her know, baby, I heard you. I heard you. Let her know, I heard you. I heard every word you said. And let her know from that point that you plan from tonight forward, or whatever day you have that conversation, here's what I'm going to do to fix it. And you simply take your woman into your arms and you start to fix it. Wherever there's the disconnect, you know what? I often find that more prayer is needed as well. Because the two of you didn't come this far, okay? I'm just going out on a limb. The two of you didn't come this far to let life itself, to let your responsibilities and your careers, your jobs take you in two different directions where you are so preoccupied with everything else that the one that matters, the one that you lay down to at night, you lay down with and lay next to at night to let them fall by the wayside. I mean, that's your ride or die. That is your partner through life. This is the one that you have committed yourself to. This is the one that has your heart. This is the one that you would die for. This is the one that you're willing to do any and everything for. So don't let being intimate be one of the things that you lack, or you start denying your mate because you are so exhausted by other things that you have going on, whether that be a job or whether you have strayed from the relationship. See, I got to speak to the elephant that may be in the room for some of you. If you are straying outside of your relationship, and that is the reason that you are not being intimate with your woman, you need to get honest and you need to confess. You know, I believe in that old saying, even exchange ain't thievery, baby. You need to confess what you're doing, why you stepped out, what's going on with you, and give that woman an opportunity to make a decision about her future. If you're getting pleased, or if you have now started to engage in adultery or infidelity in your relationship, you've definitely, especially for those of you who are married, you've definitely broken the covenant. And you not paying attention to your woman, you not finding her to be desirable, you not wanting, you don't have a sexual appetite for your wife, your woman. She senses that. She senses that, and her communicating what she's not been getting from you is only going to go so far before she puts two and two together, if she hasn't, and then she starts to make moves of her own. I believe even exchange ain't thievery, and we're going to eat from the same plate. Now, if you can go out there and you can cheat on your woman versus getting your needs met with the woman that you're already in a relationship with, well, maybe she just needs to leave the relationship and get her jollies off somewhere else. I mean, it is what it is. But if your woman is important to you, if the relationship is something that you value, then do not take this message or tonight's show lightly. It was meant for you to tune in to tonight's discussion. And for those of you, my ladies, who are finding yourselves in a relationship where this man has disconnected from you intimately, he's not expressing his desire for you, the things that he used to do for you and to you, you see him no longer doing it. You see your man straying. He's not having conversations with you. He's not wanting to spend time with you. He doesn't compliment you anymore. He doesn't make you a priority anymore. Ladies, I hate to say this, that sounds like he has strayed away from the relationship. Because there shouldn't ever have to be a time where a woman needs to beg a man to touch her. Okay? Let me say that again. There should not ever be a time where you are having to beg your man to touch you or pay attention to you on a consistent basis. I do want to emphasize that we all have to take into account that we're all grown and we have lives. We're adults. We're not teenagers. We have responsibilities. And sometimes, again, life can take us in different directions, especially when we're doing so many things. For those of you who own your own businesses, for those of you who are rearing small children, I factor all of that into it, and then you have friends, you got, social settings, you got a host of things that, could be fighting or competing for your attention. I get that. But if you have noticed that your man has pulled away, if you've noticed that man isn't paying you any attention, he's not even looking at, he's not even looking at you the same. That look in his eye has all but disappeared. He's not reaching for you. You can pass by him when he used to slap you on the bottom. Now he doesn't do that anymore. You probably can walk out of the bathroom butt naked, glistening down in body oil, and he pays no mind. Something is going on with that man, okay? Something is going on with that man. And while you're having the conversation with him, and you're still getting deaf ears, he's making no attempt to change or make progress and fix it on his end. I tell you what, you need to do your due diligence and do your homework and make sure that you are protecting yourself when he does get intimate with you. Don't be no fool. Don't be no fool to nobody. Again, there should never be a time where you're having to beg your man to touch you. 2 conversations at best, you're telling your man, babe, you know, it's been X amount of days or weeks or months, God forbid months, that, you know, we've, you know, been able to be intimate or fellowship with one another in the bedroom? Or why is it that every time that we get together, I am doing all of the initiating? Do you not want me anymore? I mean, have I gained weight? Do you not find me attractive? Tell me what's going on with you. Because I hate to admit it, ladies, you know, I wrote down a few things so I just wouldn't forget. Sometimes you have to have the conversation, because I know I am of a particular age, right? Okay, so for those of you who, you know, ask your man, is he is experiencing erectile dysfunction? It happens. I mean, we have to talk about it. Is something going on with you? Do you need to go see a doctor? Should I make an appointment for you? I mean, then you need to ask yourself, has he been to the doctor lately? Is he on high blood pressure medication? Because I've heard that high blood pressure medication is a #1 issue with men who take it, because it decreases their sex drive. So, I mean, there's so many things that we could factor into your man denying you, withholding, or not being as sexually active with you as the two of you used to be. Communication needs to happen. A conversation needs to happen. And again, if you're seeing no progress, something bigger is going on, and it may be going on outside of your relationship. So let me tell you, ladies, once again, do your homework, do your due diligence. Don't be no fool. Check it out, see what's going on, and after you've done your due diligence, if it isn't any outside influences, okay, that's affecting, you know, your sex life, then we can talk about some other things. You know, baby, what's going on? Is there something that I have done? Is there something that I've done to turn you off? Is there something about me that has changed and you're no longer sexually attracted to you? Am I not keeping myself up for you? I mean, we have to be honest and have a candid conversation. We can't always lie the problem at the feet of the man, because if he's not reaching out, if he's not initiating any type of sexual intimacy with you, so now I need to have the conversation with you, lady. Are you keeping yourself up? Are you doing what needs to be done in order to remain visually pleasing and sexually attractive to your man? Have you gained a few pounds? And are you overlooking being overweight if you've gained a few pounds and thinking that he's overlooking it? Could the weight be a turnoff, or be something that he's not feeling it anymore? And if there is something about you, because we know that men are visual, right? Men are visual. If there is something about you that you could tweak a little bit, something about your appearance that you could work on, let me say, ladies, don't get so comfortable with just letting yourself go and expecting your man to always be connected. Yes, he may be committed to the relationship. He may be committed to you. He may not be going nowhere, but if he's not having sex with you, if he doesn't crave you, if he doesn't find you sexually attractive, is that really the route that you want to go? Is that really where you want to be and continue on in your relationship? So again, I'm placing the men, hear me, I'm talking to the ladies. I'm placing the responsibilities back on the women. If there is something about you that you need to fix, if there's something about you that, you know what, you say, if I be honest with myself, I have let myself go a little bit. I used to, when he came home, Diva, I used to do this and do that. Or, you know, maybe you get home a little bit later. When I used to get off from work, I used to run in, take a shower, you know, make sure that I have freshened up. I used to make sure that I put on something very comfortable and sexy, and then I would go in the kitchen and I would cook dinner for him. I don't do that no more. I walk around with my bonnet on my head, or I walk around in some old sweats or whatever. Listen, be it far from me to tell the next woman how to walk around her house and not to be comfortable in her own home. I'm not telling you that. But let me tell you, if you're no longer being intimate with your man, and your man is not no longer wanting or finding you, that's what I'm trying to say. If your man is no longer finding you desirable, first check with self. If you know you've gained excessive weight, if you know that your wardrobe could use refreshing, if you know that when you first met, you used to go out and you used to be very attentive to, when the two of you would step out so you would look good on the arms of your man. If you don't care no more how you look when you're going out and you pay little attention, you put little effort into it, could that be part of the problem? Is your hygiene up to par? And I'm not trying to be crass. Is your hygiene up to par, ladies? Are you doing what you need to do to make sure that you're okay down there? I mean, is everything where it should be? Does it smell the way it need to be? Are you changing the sheets on the bed, on a regular basis so that he is in a inviting and tempting atmosphere? Or have you just gotten a little bit comfortable and just lazy and not doing what you need to do and expecting him to be up to par? Where there's an opportunity to improve, I think that is where you need to improve. And again, not to try to embarrass anyone, but these are things that we need to talk about. These are things that maybe your man is not comfortable telling you. But she's just not taking care of herself the way she used to. So, I don't look at her the same. She doesn't look the same. You want to always be, pleasing to the eyes of your man. If you ain't beautiful to nobody else, you want to be beautiful in the eyes of the man that you love, especially if you wear his last name, right, ladies? Okay, so no shade. But again, just to recap, we all know that life is happening. We all know that the enemy is busy. We all know that this world, this system of things, people today seem to be leaning towards being just more evil and just up to no good. And there's no type of respect or boundaries when it comes to marriages and relationships. And we have to protect our relationships at all costs, especially you got to stay armored up with the word of God. You got to be intentional with who you allow inside your home, your inner circle, who you're sharing information with, any information about you, your marriage. You have to protect all of that because people are just wicked. Everybody wants to be happy, but no one wants to be as intentional with preserving the relationships and making sure that happiness is even possible in your relationship with the group of people that you surround yourself with. It's so many things that can impact your relationship, and with so much going on and with the two of you choosing to spend your life together, it is just absolutely necessary that intimacy be protected. That is part of protecting the relationship, is making sure that the two of you are satisfying one another sexually. Fulfilling each other's sexual appetite is absolutely crucial to having a healthy and happy relationship, and it's godly for those of you who are married. Okay, it is godly. I'm just saying you have an obligation to please one another. And men, I just want to leave you with this, that women have been taught and been told for so long that you guys are so important and that you are the priority in the home when it comes to, taking care of you, taking care of your needs. Women need to feel the same from you, that you are paying attention to her and making sure that her cup is full, making sure that her needs are met, making sure that she is fulfilled, so that when she goes out into the world, when she walks into the office, when she's out on the town, hanging out with her girls, that she is not looking like a woman that is being deprived at home, that she is not looking like a woman who is not being taken care of, that she when she is seen, when she is out in public, when people look at her, they know that she is a woman that is being taken care of and she is being loved down in the right way. That is your responsibility. That is your woman. And if your woman, once again, if your woman is having those conversations with you versus just choosing to just be a little floozy and just step outside of the relationship and have affairs and flings and hookups and situationships outside of the home and embarrass you, listen, that is a woman worth keeping, because she wants to give you an opportunity to fix it. She wants to give you an opportunity to fulfill her needs. She wants to give you the opportunity to get things back on track to the way things used to be between the two two of you. So I encourage you to connect. I encourage you to resume the communication. I encourage you to start that physical therapy. You know, that physical touch therapy. Start touching your woman. It could start with a hug. It could start with embracing each other every morning when you wake up, every night before you go to bed, every time you leave the house. Make sure that you hug one another. Hug and touch. Make sure that when you are out and about and you guys are out on a date, maybe you're walking around the mall, maybe you're at the movies, maybe you're just having a stroll around the neighborhood, make sure that the two of you are holding hands. Touching is so vital to staying connected. Kissing, oh, it's so intimate. Make sure that you are kissing your woman, okay? Tongue her down every time you think about it. That is just another way to physically reconnect with her, to get her in the mood, to start whetting her appetite, to get ready to be loved on by the man that she loves the most, which I'm assuming is you, right? Yes. So I definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It was a hard conversation to have face to face. You know, I am a little bit tad bit more bolder on the mic, on the podcast, but I felt it was old and necessary to speak from a woman's perspective, to speak on behalf of the women who are in a season of lack because things are not as they should be in the relationship, you know, to speak to the men about it, to give the men an opportunity to rise to the occasion in more ways than one, to rise to the occasion, to step up, okay? To step up and show your woman how much she means to you, to reassure her and to reaffirm your love for your woman by making love to your woman, by not having your woman always initiate the love making, okay? Excuse me, my throat has gotten a little dry. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, to make sure that you are doing your part in staying connected, staying physical, being intimate with your woman, and making sure that she never has to have that conversation with you again and having to put it on repeat because she feels that you're not making progress, or she feels that you weren't listening and didn't hear her the first few times that she attempted to speak with you about this delicate but definitely intimate matter as it relates to your relationship. I hope that you have enjoyed tonight's show. Again, I got so many wonderful things lined up on DivaSpeaks Relationship for all of you out there. Be sure to join me back here, or to join the show every second and fourth Friday of the month at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, DivaSpeaks Relationship airs on Access 21 every second and fourth Friday of the month at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can view the show, you can stream it from the TV station's website at 11 p.m. when it comes on. TVAccess21.com. If you missed the show, no worries. I'll make sure that the show is uploaded to my website, Stream Television, and YouTube. Once again, I will make sure, because I love to I've taken full ownership of my own content. I'll make sure that after the Friday night show, the show will be on my personal website, which is diva-speaks-official.com. I will make sure that it will be on Stream Television as well as YouTube, and we can circle back around to the television station's website. It will be in the video on demand section, okay, which is going to be on the left-hand side of the computer screen or your tablet or your cell phone. Video on demand, you want to select that, and then it will give you an opportunity to type in the name of the show, which is Diva Speaks, and when you hit enter, it'll auto-populate all of my shows that the station has stored in the video on demand section. Make sure you check me out on the Now Television Network, the newly formed DivaSpeaks Relationship Ministries. That is my weekly broadcast. Yes, that is my weekly broadcast once again on the Now Television Network. It airs once a week. Between late Thursday night and Saturday morning, I'm not sure yet, is when my new shows appear. I want you to definitely check that out. It is more faith and spiritually based, but it is Diva Speaks Relationship Ministries. Again, She King Street Poet is coming to Diva Speaks Relationships. I have a host of other ladies coming to the show. I have a very beautiful fellow diva and sister of mine out of Richmond, Virginia. She will be stopping by the show. Oh, she's got a very special segment. I cannot wait to share with you guys. Oh, I cannot wait. Lashana will be here. She will be on DivaSpeaks Relationship. She has her own unique gift, God-given talent. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm just the host of Other Ladies. I believe I'm still working on wife power, to come by and come through with that awesome word of God and to talk to the wives, the women, about how to exist in a relationship. She has a powerful presentation. I love her flow and how she speaks on relationships. Again, I'm still working on that, but you know, it doesn't hurt to tell you what the diva is working on. So guys, remember, tell all of your friends about the show, the talk show, the newly formed ministries, and don't forget to check out the podcast. DivaSpeaks Relationships Podcast is available wherever you get your podcast from. Join me on my social media accounts. Again, the Instagram account is the Spiritual Supplement. I love to call my Instagram account the Spiritual Supplement, that you get your daily dose of relationship encouragement from. Come join me on Instagram, will you? DivaSpeaks, _sign official. Once again, DivaSpeaks, _sign official. It has been my pleasure to talk with you. Again, my name is Angela Portorial. I am the diva of DivaSpeaks Relationships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until the next time, the diva has spoken, and good night.